another foster home or another group home, and you only had like a trash bag to carry everything.
So imagine that, folks, packing your belongings in trash bags and moving into 18 different homes before you're old enough to drive. And oh yeah, you've been to 23 schools too.
That was the case for this week's Wednesday's child, Collin. Scott, you met him actually when he was in the thick of all of that 2.5 years ago.
Sure was. So today, I'm so happy to share this update after his mom sent me an email with some pretty incredible news.
Oh yeah.
From his fun-loving spirit and infectious smile, on the surface, you never know what Collin's been through.
It was more of like a survival thing. Never knew when you're gonna be leaving another foster home or another group home, and you only had like a trash bag to carry everything.
Right here, just keep your eyes on my mitt. Look at that, that's a strike. Good job.
The amazing thing about Collin was he wasn't bitter either. I met him in 2010 when he was 13.
Boom.
And he was super fun, loved the batting cages, and we talked about cars.
I love hot rods.
We profiled Collin as a Wednesday's child that year. I asked him then what type of adoptive family would be good for him.
A nice family and someone that would care about me.
Okay.
In late 2011, George and Kim Guariglio heard about Collin's story through a friend. Again, 23 schools and more than a dozen homes. Kim was adopted, and Collin's story broke her heart. So she and George sat down for a talk.
She gave me the whole story on what was going on with him. And she says, what do you think? And I said, sounds like we need to take him.
They were then approved as an emergency placement for Collin. And Collin was told he was going to another home where he'd have his own room this time in a basement.
When he came, his caseworker asked him, before she left, Collin, do you have any questions before I leave? And he said, is it okay? Are there any lights in the basement? I'm like, oh, yeah, you have lights, you have ceiling fans. It's a regular bedroom.
Yeah, we were on vacation when they called us, and so we hopped on a plane, came home, and 3 hours later he was here.
The very next day, day 2 of these strangers coming together, George said this to Collin.
This is your last home. I want you to know that. And he looks me dead in the eye and he says, sir, I've heard that before. And I said, well, let's see what happens. You're staying.
Why don't you guys grab the plates and...
In the first couple of days when he's in the house, one of the things Collin had said to us is I want to be a special kid. I want to be a regular kid. I don't want to be known as the foster kid. How do you want us to call it? How do you want us to refer to you? Right. And he said, well, I was going to ask you guys if it's okay if I call you guys mom and dad. How does a kid who's been through everything he's been through show that kind of trust to us who he doesn't even know and he wants to call us mom and dad? I mean, he's a special kid.
They're like scallions. They're like...
On August 30th, this past summer, that emergency placement was over because that's the day Kim and George officially adopted Collin.
Tell me what life is like now that you're adopted.
It is awesome. It's like a family that you know. This is my bedroom.
Yeah, what about that basement bedroom where Collin once wondered if there were working lights?
Our downstairs looked like an airport landing strip. There were so many lights on. And we sat outside his door because he needed that we're gonna be there. Until finally, after he'd been here several months, we could put him to bed and then come upstairs.
It's the first family that I can have my room to myself and actually and decorate it myself, and because I never really had a room, because I would always be switching houses, and I have a family that loves me and cares about me.
It's a great smile. Collin's in 10th grade. He's doing really well. He's trying out for sports teams, joining clubs in high school. His parents, Kim and George, are both retired sergeants from the Tempe Police Department, and they've already filled out the paperwork to be foster parents too. Kim, thanks for that email. It was great seeing Collin again and great seeing your whole family. If you'd like more information about adoption or more on foster care and mentoring, please contact Ask Aid to Adoption of Special Kids. We've got the number for you right there, 602-254-2275. Kim?